Warning, this video contains gameplay footage from an average Dota 2 player. None of the players in this video are professionals and should not be treated as such. Use caution in attempting any of these item builds or hero selections in ranked play. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. My name is Trypps, and here we are again playing a game of Dota. This game, I am going to be playing Lion. And let's see if we can speed this drafting up a little bit, and I can give you some insight into the game. I did take a little bit of a look at the end, because I do remember, I think someone disconnected. Our Chaos Knight did disconnect at the end. I don't remember exactly why, but I don't think it affected the game too much. Let's see. Alright, once again, a lot of carries, and slow it down. Alright, so zoom this out a little bit. I do like this. I do like this extra camera. That's a weird glitch going on right there. Okay. So, is this going to change anything? No, it's just going to stay like that forever. Alright, so on the Dire team, the enemy team, we're going to have a Pudge mid. We're going to have Mirana, I think, up top, which is going to be with the Bane and the Void. And Drow's going to solo bot, which is, I mean, if she stays far enough away and she can catch some farm, it might be easy, but I don't know, because we're going to have a Chaos Knight with myself, Lion, and Venge. Tiny's going to mid, and Axe is going to solo top. Looks like they're putting up some early wards here. We see a little bit of a... Looks like Pudge went for the rune up top, but got stopped by our Venge and an arrow that completely whiffs. Venge getting a little bit greedy right here. Venge wants a few right clicks to use this double damage rune, but I don't know if it was worth it. I think she might have been able to get a few, a little bit help Pudge, or help our Tiny put a little pressure on the Pudge, but she has no mana. She has enough for one stun now, although she might not have survived if Mirana had arrowed her correctly. I think this might just be a roaming Mirana. I don't remember exactly how this game went. I do know that we have a really strong lane. We have myself, Chaos Knight, and Venge, who eventually does come down here. So 3 stuns, easy kills. I'm just going to pull the lane. Let's make sure. Do I end up... Yeah, I do end up pulling through. Now what this is going to do, for anyone who doesn't know, is it's going to pull the creeps into the tower. But if you don't pull through, these creeps right here are just going to come back and push the lane even harder, because it's going to give the next wave of creeps that we have, it's going to give them extra creeps in their lane. So our creeps would outnumber their creeps, and it would push the lane into Drow's favor. But it looks like Drow... She notices the pulls going on. She wants to come do something, but unfortunately for her, we're going to gang up. I wasted the stun, and basically was like, we can't do anything. But Chaos Knight and Venge... Was Chaos Knight level 2? Yeah, because now he's level 3. He had enough damage to take out First Blood. Easy win. Basically, we just won the lane. In my opinion, we won the lane right there. Because unfortunately for Drow, she's 2 levels lower than the carry. Now she's, she just caught up to level 2. But Pudge is going to catch a bounty rune, and there's an invis rune bot. Myself, I believe I could have went for that. I could have went for the invis, maybe ganked a little bit, but I think I'm focusing right now on controlling our winning lane, because it is pushing. There's 3 ranged creeps. I don't know if... I think we might have right-clicked this medium camp and not let the medium camp actually destroy our creeps. Let's see what's going on up top. I do remember a pause, and see if there's anything we can talk about right now while the pause is going on. This is their ward, double ward. It's going to be going on. I thought I muted them. Oh, and I don't know if that actually takes effect. Let's see if we can speed this pause up a little bit so we don't get... It's not too boring. Looks like this pause is going to be kind of long. Oh. Had a few of the no, we're not going to wait for yous. And Axe, pretty easy solo offlane, especially against the Void. The Void really doesn't have anything. I mean, if he gets a few bashes off or he gets 6 before the Axe, maybe he can do something. I don't know actually the interaction. I don't know if it mutes the counter helix exactly. But it looks like Pudge got the invis. And if he gets a kill off this is going to be our mistake. Or rather, you know, Venge and my mistake. We should have rotated and got the 2-minute rune out down bot. It does look like Pudge doesn't think anything's going to happen, though. He kind of wasted his time. And unfortunately for him, you know, it does look like he didn't really get anything out of that, though. Which is good for us. Tiny is level 4. Chaos Knight's going to pick up some treads. I gave him a mana pot. And I think we're doing pretty well. Let's look at the last hits. Last hits right now, we got Tiny, we got Chaos Knight, and we got Void topping the 3. So we're 2 out of 3 right now. Axe, unfortunately, is not doing the best against the Void, which is questionable. But, maybe if he... Ooh... I don't know if this Moran has actually done anything. There's only 1 kill on the board, but Axe is picking up Tranquils. What's the... He is a higher level than Void. Oh, looks like... Alright. So what happened there was we saw Drow, and we went through, and she tried to tuck in back here, but because all 3 of us went through, and we have 3 stuns, we were able to just kill her. And they had no response until Drow TPing back herself. So unfortunately, that was bad on their team. And it doesn't look like anyone on their team even had a TP scroll. Now, if you're putting someone down bot that needs farm like Drow, you have to be able to protect them. You have to be able to respond quick enough, but they don't have the coordination. And I mean, it's understandable, it's a pub, but... it's also ranked. This is something that, you know, some people do take seriously, and it can aggravate people. Looks like Morana is just waiting around for the... looks like she's waiting for the courier. Got her boots. Pudge went bottle, so I don't know if they're going to try to do double bottle, but with Morana roaming, it does seem like she's losing out on a lot. She's starting to... and... oh, Tiny. Oh, Tiny. Just out of auto attack range, but we see 3 people top. Nightmare into Arrow should be an easy kill for them. I feel like Morana might have been able to back up a little bit, but it doesn't look like it was... yeah, it wasn't necessary. Another couple of counter helixes, though, and that Void would have been in some deep shit. And... Drow is just not having... Drow's not even level 6 yet as an offlane, and we have a level 6 Chaos Knight. Myself, I am level 4, I believe. Yep. So I'm actually the same level as this Drow. Drow has died, I believe, 3 times. And how's the XP going? Right now, we're just towering. Almost 16. Is that what that equates to? Almost 1,600 ahead. And about 2,200 gold ahead. So, I don't know why this Void is going Midas, of course, because Midas is the general... I'm a carry, I have to go Midas. Just have, you know, that's how it works. I think I do go Tranquils. I end up going Tranquils. How's the ward coverage? There's a ward there that we never noticed. And I believe that's Venge's ward there. I don't know I feel about that. It does cover this path, but I believe this covers this entire entrance area. And we had a little mishap here. I think we lost, and I actually do say we did lose most of our advantage here. Let's see how much that actually, I mean, that was a 500 experience deficit. Now almost a 1,000 experience deficit. Not too much on the gold. We're still leading, and I feel like they're leaving Void up here to die. I mean, it was his mistake going Midas, but he's falling behind right now. And unfortunately for them, do they have? I don't know if that. Yes. Okay, that's how you figure it out. That was a very questionable chronosphere. I think he was trying to do that to save the tower, but did not work out in his favor. Here comes Venge. Venge is trying to get the edge. I don't know if Void would have seen her right here, but he seems to have known something was up. Venge is just getting a little greedy right here because this is a level 7 Void. While he might not have much, he does have completely maxed out time lock, and she's only level 3 with barely 700 health. So, and she's completely alone right now. And he seems to just, he's playing scared. He's not, you know, asserting his dominance. And we lose a courier to the Drow. Trying to put on some pressure here. Myself, I'm staying with the Chaos Knight because he's so far ahead that I can take some of his experience at this point. I mean, it would be nice for him to continuously get so far ahead, but I do not want to. I don't want to not be level 6 and we need it. So they Mirana ulted, and they're gonna try to come in on us. I'm pinging for him to stop. And do we get the Bane here? I did run scared. I ran a little bit, and I feel like we might have been able to get the Bane. Not with his heal, his brain sap, but I think we would have been able to get them if I would have committed a little bit more. Does look like Pudge does have his Tranquils, not his Urn yet. He is going Urn. There's a ward covering this area, but that's about it. There's a Bounty Rune unclaimed right here. And Drow's starting to stack or at least clear a stack of Ancients, because she knows if she comes out here, there could be 2 stuns waiting for her. 3 stuns if Chaos Knight's there, or Vengeful Spirit is here. And we have a lot of pauses. Let's see if we can spin this up. Okay, there we go. So right now, the game we're 1 tower ahead, and we have all of our cores. You might not see Axe as a core, but I mean, he was our offlane, so myself and Venge are towards the bottom. Rana really doesn't have anything. How are we doing while we're using this? I'm going to use this pause for a minute. I don't mean to bore some of you, but I want to look at some of the information that we have on the board here. We have 3 top, while myself and Venge are towards the bottom of the net worth. I believe that Bane might have a kill. Nope, Bane does not have a kill, and Mirana does have a kill, but she also has 4 assists. Okay, that's where their gold is coming from. They have 4 assists. They're roaming, they're playing aggressive, while Venge did roam. Myself, I'm trying to help the Chaos Knight. It might be a little bit passive from a Lion, but I don't even have 6 yet at this point. Just got it, at least. Let's speed some of this up. Disconnectio. Okay. This is horrible. That one last right click. I remember I was pretty upset about that. I don't know what this Venge thinks. I wonder if maybe she was just being aggressive because the X was there, but we have 4 coming on bottom. Chaos Knight gets taken out. I'm way far away because maybe I should have helped save my carry, but I did not want to just feed 2 kills. Tiny went for the blink first instead of the Aghanims for the tree, but as long as he's using it to be aggressive, I don't disagree with it. He does have the mana boots, which helps him continuously be aggressive and do his combo. And they really want this bottom tower. They're gonna pot them all and completely delete it. We got the bounty rune and we're coming up, and they're questioning whether they, which that was a very questionable nightmare, because he could have been, while it was wearing off, he could have gotten some distance at least. Tiny gets picked off behind us, and now they're split in a team fight. They do have 3vr2 because I'm TPing in. I'm coming in pretty late, and Axes looks like he's about to get taken out. But here comes Chaos Knight. I'm pretty sure I do finger this Void. Nope. Okay. Gonna finger the Pudge, and now Draw's caught out with 3. Bane comes back to the rescue, and where am I? I guess I backed off because I didn't have mana, but I feel like that was a really poor play. Luckily for Tony, I'm taking the Nightmare off of Tiny, but this seems like a very convoluted team fight. It seems like we keep teleporting in, going in, dying, teleporting back in. And Tiny cleaned up there a little bit. He got some grow, and gonna take the Nightmare off. Pudge really should have just hooked me. Questionable. Yeah. And they want to keep, Tiny really wants to keep on the aggression, especially because he sees the Bane. Both of them are very aggressive. Both have blink daggers, so I think this is where we start snowballing. Let's see where we're at. Net worth. It's pretty split right now, which is weird for how aggressive we're being. I think they're cleaning up a little bit on the kills. Void's up here farming away. He needs to, really, because of his Midas. And Draw's continuing to farm as well. Unfortunately for her, she's going Shadowblade. Last hits denies. Void's on top. We got 3 underneath, and the mid and off lane are splitting our team. But you do see this, like, we're here. Like, this is our domain right now. While Pudge is only 5-4 last hits, or 5 or 6 last hits ahead of our supports. Where is Bane farming? Tiny catches out the. Oh, he missed his stun and gets taken on by the arrow. But Axe continuing the aggression. Unfortunate. No one has dust. No one has sentries. And there's going to be no re-engage. While Void is ticking away at our mid tower. I think I do ping him a few times and say, hey, we need to check him before he wrecks himself. But instead, no one responding. I just want to come back with my team. Because the cores, especially X and Tiny, they're the ones trying to make the plays. They're the ones trying to catch people out. And I need to be there to follow up with them. Although Void is kind of farming our jungle, and we're losing out a bit. I don't know why we just rotated 5 people across the map, though. Seems like we're a little bit confused. It seems like we're trying to figure out where we're supposed to be at this point. Or rather, what our next move is. which is kind of a problem with pubs because either you can't... Oh, that arrow. That was a pretty nice arrow. I'll give him a round of that. Went for the greed bounty rune, but nothing's made of it, so it doesn't look like it was anything big. Axe with a haste rune. Axe should be doing something with this. He does have blade mail and blink pretty early on too. And that tiny almost caught out the Marana. He sees blood though. Playing pretty aggressive here myself. And Tiny leaves the team. He's trying to save the tower down here, but nice save. And Bane takes the Nightmare off of himself, but unfortunately I guess he doesn't know that you can get rid of that. So Tiny teleports away with Axe going down there and a wasted Chronosphere. We did lose our carry in that, but sometimes you can't do it. And I just missed the dunk on Void. Nice save, Tiny. Tiny's getting a little bit deep, though, and this Pudge is easily going to be able to take him out. Fingering the Drow. And... come on, Tiny. Chaos Knight's coming back. Unfortunately, we don't have a Sentry. But... Chaos Knight's going to be able to take out this Bane. He should be able to. Does he have the mana for... Reality Rift? Oh, I hate that as a... There you go, buddy. Void's back. Void does not have Chronosphere, though. He has his Midas up. Does he use it? No, he doesn't. He goes for Ancients. Pudge is going top. Gonna get a Illusion Rune. And I think we wanted to push at this point right here, but they have a lot of up. They have a lot of people up, and I'm glad we backed. A lot of disconnects this game. I don't know if it was the servers that day or something like that, but we're just going to keep on chugging. This is almost as irritating as playing the game. Alright. So let's see how we're doing here. We're about 3k and 3k ahead right now. We have all three tier 1s. They have none of our tier 1s. So we're pretty far ahead. We're pretty well set right now. Chaos Knight not leading in last hits. The Void is leading in last hits, but that could be because of the extra Midas gold or the Midas ability speeding up his farming of the camps. There's a stack here, which could have helped a lot. I wanted to try something on this Void, but I did not want to die for it. I wanted to try for the deny, I believe, and I wasn't there in time, and threw out a rage for the spike. They picked off Marana right here. Unfortunately, we missed it. Looks like Venge almost died. And honestly, it seems like these are the two people that are playing the aggression. They're trying to get kills and trying to pull pressure off the Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight really shouldn't... Well, it's helpful for him to come and fight for us. He doesn't even have an armlet yet, and that's 20 minutes. He did go drums first, and he's a decent way through it. But it's things like this, like... Tiny's alright taking this farm, whereas Axe, I feel like some of these people should be stacking rather than farming the camps. I don't know how this Venge is doing. Does look like they want to pick off a tier 1 up here. Which is weird, because Abane and Marana, they should be playing the aggression game too. Still, Pudge is with them here. He might be looking for an easy pickoff. There he is. And he does get one. And there goes the Venge too. So they get 2 easy pickoffs. Easily could be turned into a tier 1 tower. Let's see what they do. We have 3 up here. Are we missing anybody? Both of our other 2 are dead because they just got picked off. And they already Marana ulted. But it looks like they're coming to meet their creep wave. Pudge does go Blade Mail. Catch on the Marana ult. And easy kill. I unfortunately get nightmared and taken out of the fight, but rather me than somebody else, and Pudge catches the wrong Chaos Knight. Now there's a situation to where Axe goes in, and this is an easy cleanup. That was such a good wave, and followed up by a finger. But Void's over here pushing our tier 1, and Tiny does not like it one bit. When things like this happen, we want a team fight up top. And we might have been able to transition to it into a little damage, but unfortunately we chased off a Void. If they can get the kill here, it'll be worth it. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to, and they're going to switch their focus right now. Unless... Seems like Venge transitioned over, and they will be able to capitalize. So, it's alright. It turns out well, because we do get their carry and a tower, and we won a team fight over here. So it's not too horrible. There's a couple of wards on the other team that seem like they're covering the same spots. So, like, this is almost overlapping entirely, so this entire area is being double warded. And I believe I did get caught out just because I tried to follow up and was completely not with the team, which is my fault. Oh, and I guess both Axe and Tiny died. So we're doing this thing where what happens in a lot of games where we win, we get overconfident, and we stay for too long. And then they res, they come up, they come back, and we're not able to escape or fight them off. And we just keep doing this like teeter-totter game. And it becomes, it gets to a point where it's either whoever makes the last mistake or whoever makes the biggest mistake. We do have a ward here covering Roche, which looks like it's about to expire. I put a ward up here when we were fighting, but it seems like their ward coverage is pretty heavy. And their void is starting to, he's starting to spiral right now. The Tiny does end up escaping with the craggy exterior giving him the stun on the void, which is pretty hilarious. They're just gonna try to disengage, but getting caught out, stayed way too long. Marana did pop the ult for them, but unfortunately didn't engage or disengage. Drow and Pudge are over here. Not worth their team, and let's see if we can transition this into a push. Drow's gonna try to... I think this is me fortifying, and I'm gonna try to teleport down here. Try to push her off because I don't feel like it's a good trade trading a tier 2 for a tier 2. Especially our bot tier 2, because if they did something like Roshan, we don't have a tier 1 or a tier 2. The closest would be this tier 2, and teleporting to that at last notice would just be useless. What an excellent hook by that Pudge. Unfortunate, but let's see if the rest of the team can kind of clean it up. Tiny and Axe once again coming to the rescue, cleaning things up. A few mistakes made. Maybe I should have anticipated the Pudge. Maybe I should have waited until I felt like I could hit the stun easier, but sometimes shit happens. We're going to get a tier 2 out of it, and we prevent our tier 2 from being taken, so it's not all that bad. Sometimes you got to have a licensed defeat as a support. Am I right? There's a regen up here. No one has touched Roche yet. Nothing looks like it's being stacked for either team. But Axe is starting to pull ahead. I believe that might have been just the comeback mechanic, because Void was pretty far up. A lot more farming going on, which is unfortunate. After the new patch, there's a lot of late game potential, as opposed to the 15-minute GGs we saw at TI4. This I don't agree with. This is, whether she's playing a 4 or a 5 position, this is something that Chaos Knight could have come over easily and taken. Something maybe she could have stacked, but it's a pub game, so not everything is completely coordinated. Here comes Pudge, trying to get some type of advantage on this Axe. But little does he know, I am here to save the day, and so is Venge. I think. Okay, I was hoping he would die there. Oh, unfortunate. How did he miss that? I just don't think he called, unless Void got the animation off, but there was no animation for X. And Tiny sees blood. Tiny wants this. Tiny could have... His Blink Dagger was on cooldown, so maybe he couldn't have. But they're kind of showing them who's boss right now. They're keeping on the aggression, they're keeping on the pressure, and I'm really wondering how this Drow is coming back pretty hardcore. I think she's split pushing a lot, and I think she is clearing maybe more so than the Void. It looks like the Mirana's going for a defusal. It's alright. Tiny's pretty mana dependent. He has mana problems. Chaos Knight has mana problems. But Chaos Knight did build the drums, which is going to help him out. Tiny's just over here beating ass. And so is Axe. Wonder if he's going to chrono. Nope. It looks like... Oh, the Pudge hook was not long enough. I'm getting pretty aggressive right here. Luckily, the Venge comes in, saves my life, and it looks like we could have a team cleanup right now. Chaos Knight's going to take out the Bane, and we're going to start chasing the Pudge. Unfortunately, Axe is over here getting nightmared. Someone might have been able to take that off of him, someone less important. But fingered to death just to save the kill. You know, make sure he died. No one wants to see a Pudge get away. We're going to take a tier 4, or not tier 4, tier 2, and Drow's just going to continue to split push. It seems like she doesn't want to play with her team, or she sees that she's on the other side of the map farming, and her team lost a team fight, so there's almost no use teleporting, because she wouldn't be able to defend against all 4 of us. But see if something like this were to happen, there you go. And, oh, you could have dunked, bro. Oh, you didn't have the mana. But yeah, while we're fighting in this area, Drow split pushing, farming our jungle, and her team loses a fight, she could, I guess, teleport back to the tier 3 and come help if there's a few stragglers, and maybe pick off some of us who are low health but barely survive because we end up killing them. But on the other hand, she could also push and get some good damage on a tier 3. Possibly take it, but unfortunately for her, Axe came back, and we turn this into a Roche. Seems like it's pretty easy to do a Roche with both Axe being tanky enough, Tiny being taken off, the minus armor from the wave, and being so far ahead. Having enough damage on the Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight looks like he's building into a BKB. We have a pretty tanky, he's easily survivable right now. He's pretty online. Void obviously has nothing. He's going for the Daedalus. He's not going for the Monkey King bar. Crit, nothing. So unfortunately for them, the Pudge looks like, yeah, he only has 9 stacks. It's not horrible right now, but he's not snowballing or putting enough pressure on. Ooh, I almost got my ass handed to me right there. But it doesn't seem like he's putting enough pressure on the map, or didn't put enough pressure on the map to begin with, to really warrant the Pudge pick. Gets swapped out, but Mirana ult, and we have Vision. I'm concerned it. Okay, and I just get Chrono deleted, and the rest of the team cleans up the fight. While everyone continuously focuses on the weak members of our team, myself and Venge, the rest of the team just cleans up. It's easy as that. Yes, they can take out, 1 or 2, they can take out the supports. They're easy, they're squishy, they either haven't been, they don't have as many items, or they just got caught by a Chrono like I did. And unfortunately for them, they're not focusing on the people who are actually doing huge amounts of damage, or able to clean up almost the entire team fight. It's not easy to take out, but it does look like Tiny stayed a little bit too long and just killed himself to the tower. That could have been a Rax. That's odd. But we do get a ranged. Nice. Axe is doing the walk of shame. And now we're starting to come out on head again. We're starting to come out in the net worth, but I don't... Axe and Tiny have just been all over this game. I'm doing decently. I'm even kills and deaths, 12 assists. Bane just seems like he might have been falling off a little bit. Void has just been... I just don't agree with this item build. I won't get into that maybe until I play a Void game. But I don't agree with the Midas. And we'll leave that at that. I don't know what Venge is going for. The Blink is nice. The Oblivion Staff, let's see. Oh, Orchid? Maybe to stop the Nightmare, but you can easily do that with Stun and Swap. Silencing the Pudge while he's rotting is nice. Also stopping his Dismember. And if you can get a silence on the Void before he Chronos, he's pretty much useless. I don't think that mutes obviously his backtrack, but let's see what's going on. So there's a swap. I think that was a poor swap. Alright. So once again, unfortunately, we had a crash, and now we come back to watching me feed. I'm going to leave it on this directed camera for a little bit so that I can talk, and hopefully we don't have another crash, but I don't want to lose the entire VOD that I have been watching. And we're just going to pick it up from here. It does seem like we got the gist of the game. We're pretty far ahead right now. We have all of their outer towers. We have both bot and mid tier 3, and we have 1 ranged Rax. With the 4-man disadvantage, though, it does seem like maybe they can make a comeback, but we can see how it turns out. I don't know exactly why Pudge was running away. Maybe he was afraid he was going to get dunked. And at this point, it seems pretty grim. 3 people dead right now. And myself, I just got back up. But 2 people just died. 2 of the strongest people just died. But whoever is playing the Chaos Knight was doing well enough to where he is a threat, but unfortunately they just keep sending people in one by one. Hopefully we're not going to watch myself jump in there one by one at a time either. Myself and Venge don't really have anything in us to combat this. So basically at this point we have a couple options. We can back off completely and give them everything in our mid. Just completely give them racks and all, and hope that when Tiny and Axe get back up that we can defend the base and not lose the game. But unfortunately Venge gets in a little bit greedy and gives them her life as well. So now we have myself, and I'm going to completely run away, not going anywhere near them. And they want to wait for the Chaos Knight, but unfortunately, bro, he's not coming back. I'm going to make sure of this so we don't have to listen to the chatter. I honestly thought I was about to die there again. So that's what we do. We give them everything. I run in, I dust, and I'm like, we can catch this lady out. Easy kill, dunked. Come at me, bro. And drowse. Gonna pick up a butterfly. Where's X going? Oh, he's teleporting top to defend. I'm really interested now to remember how we pulled it out. Because with a one-man disadvantage with... I mean, like, they brought it back a little bit. We were up 40 to, like, 20, I think, at one point. Or around 23. Are they gonna rush? Nope. They're just gonna go scout the rune. Probably come bot. See if they can push the bot tower. But it looks like... someone's trying to micro this Chaos Knight, and I think it's Venge. That's a little bit too shaky. And I think at this point we just say, well, we might die, we might lose this, so base race. Just push and hope that they respond, hope that they back, and we can kill them and end the game. So here comes this. We're going to take the melee racks and just... Oh, and luckily Venge saves my life. Get the racks. Missed the hook. Dusted. Exactly what we needed. Tiny's going for the towers. Put it a little bit damage, but then we focus on the team fight. Get a good axe initiation. And a little bit of cleanup. Bane's trying to get us from behind, trying to take out some of the supports, or just control the team fight a little bit. But unfortunately for them, they came back. While Mirana tried to, if you can see on the minimap, Mirana's trying to push and hope that she can do enough damage, but she just doesn't have any damage. We're going to end the game before she even gets one of our tier 4s down, and that seemed like the end of it. So a little bit of hiccups, a little bit of here and there, some disconnects, some pauses, and a few dropped VODs even. But I feel like the game went pretty well. I don't know if I played my best. I feel like Tiny and Axe carried that game a little bit. I didn't really feed so much. I made a few okay plays, and we came out on top. Overall, I think Drow got pooped on in lane and stayed away from her team too much. Void went for an extremely greedy build and didn't come on until pretty late. He did a lot of damage, especially when he was taking out myself or Venge. But Axe and Tiny just got too big and too tanky to the point where they couldn't be taken on, and we got a little bit of an advantage before Chaos Knight unfortunately disconnected, and we were able to just micro him. I think the disconnects might have been actually on my side, might have been why the VOD dropped itself. But that is the end of the game. We came out on top. We ended up winning. Mistakes and all. Everyone has bad games, but If you liked anything that you saw here today, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Don't mean to beg, but it does help me out a lot, and I will see you guys again tomorrow for another game.